This video is about some of the more advanced features in version 2 of aaLuminate, the Color Overlay Reading Aid app from Aardwearing Software Limited. It's assumed that you've already watched the Getting Started, Using Modes and Adjusting Overlays videos and have used the app several times in a basic way. In this video, we'll cover the mask view, reference colors for colorblind users, assess my VS color sequences, and the remaining settings on the settings screen. First of all, the mask view. As you saw in Getting Started, you can superimpose a rectangular mask that can be moved around the screen to eliminate distractions near the words you're currently reading. By default, the mask feature is turned off. Tap this button to turn the mask on or off as appropriate. The mask size can be adjusted to one of a number of preset shapes. When the mask is turned on, a mask size slider appears below the opacity slider. Narrower shapes of mask are to the left-hand side of the slider range, and wider shapes at the right-hand end. Depending upon the size of text in the document you're reading, you'll probably want to adjust this from time to time. Take a few moments to experiment. As with the other sliders, the mask size slider value will be remembered for next time you use the app. Don't forget that because you can drag the mask around the screen, you can't drag the underlying image around whilst the mask is displayed. If you need to move the underlying image, you'll need to turn the mask off, drag the image, and turn the mask back on again. Pinch to zoom won't work whilst the mask is on either, so to zoom in or out of the underlying image, you'll need to turn the mask off first, do the zooming, and then turn the mask on again afterwards. Reference color dots for colorblind users. By default, a reference set of standard colored dots is displayed on the screen. This may help those with color blindness to discriminate between colors by changing the filter to reduce the apparent brightness of one known color against another. To show or hide the reference color dots, set the switch to on or off as appropriate. Assess my VS color sequences. We've already seen in the Adjusting Overlays video that you can use a test result from the assessment app, Assess My VS, to set the color of the overlay in aaLuminate. You do this by picking the appropriate color or colors from a picker containing the values from one of Assess My VS's test color sequences. Depending upon which version of Assess My VS was used and what the settings were at the time of the test, one of 3 possible color sequences will have been used. If your preferred color from the test result starts 16, for example 16 coral, then aaLuminate needs to use the default 16 color sequence. If your preferred color from the test results starts CB, for example CB yellow, then aaLuminate needs to use the 10 color sequence that approximates to the physical color overlays that you can buy from Crossbow Education Limited. If your preferred color or 2 colors don't have CB or 16 at the start, for example blue and purple, then aaLuminate needs to use the old 9 color sequence as used in earlier Assess My VS versions. To change the sequence to the one you want, press this button on the main screen to call up the settings screen, then simply set the switch for that sequence to on, and the previous one in use turns off automatically. The remaining settings on the settings screen. There are 2 other switches. Log messages. By default, this switch is turned off. Turning it on means that more messages appear in the log. We suggest that you only turn this on if we ask you to when trying to recreate a problem that you've reported to us. Display hints. In the Getting Started video, we saw how the first time you run aaLuminate after installing it, a set of hint screens are displayed. You can page through these quickly to get a good idea of the controls without having to watch all the tutorial videos. These hints are by default only shown once, but can be turned back on for another look at any time by changing the Display Hint switch to on. As soon as the hints have been displayed, the Display Hint switch will automatically go back to off. Any changes you make to the settings will be remembered in future, even if the app is stopped and restarted. Well, there you have it. If you've watched all 5 videos, you know everything about version 2 of aaLuminate. Thanks for watching. We hope you like aaLuminate enough to rate it and spread the word. We'd be very interested to hear about any innovative ways you find to use it. If you have any further queries or any features suggestions, please visit www.ardwearing-software.com.